what do you see for 2024? And I know we're not there to prophetic to say I see this and that, but there's a general theme that I think we all have in our own personal walk, and how I want to say, well, I want to see a perfect world, but right now it's the exact opposite of that. Do I feel like there's going to be a challenge, whether it's economically? I think so. I think it's out there, and how do I protect myself? Being in present moment, just doing what I need to do today, because I can't change tomorrow. I can change today. And changing today is actually staying in that presence of peace. Because if we can hold on to which peace is actually God or God's presence. So he or she, however you see God, is taking over and allowing that grace to manifest in my life, in your life. So if I look at that, uh, will I ever get sick? I doubt it. You know, I feel like I have a healthy body, but I don't know from day to day. I was surprised when I got this virus. It's like, I don't do that. I don't go to the ER. I don't do all these things, but it happened. And it threw me because I thought I was such a powerful person that I'm protected from all that. Not, I can think that way, but in reality, then I had to just, again, it definitely slowed me up, of course. And I didn't get to do all the things I wanted to do, but I was still present with God. And for me, that's the one thing that I want to continually put before my eyes is, seeking the kingdom of God's light. Then it says everything else is added. So that's my intention for this year. How about you, Bobby? What do you think for this year for 2024?
Well, so we changed numbers. We went from a seven to an eight, and eight is infinity, and it means that there's you can enter into any situation now from the other side and have a different result. So if you've been going down the road, say you've been trying to heal, um, a painful situation, there's an opportunity to go back before that situation happened and adjust conditions so that it doesn't, you don't suffer the same way. And you might even find what was the genesis of that for you, so that
Mm,
once that's dissolved, the situation goes away naturally. And so that's just an example, but there's a lot of ways of using this number. And so, eight in the infinity is a side word to eight, right?
yeah.
But it also means it's eternity. So it gives us a different, sense of time. There's no urgency. We're forever beings. There's forever to work on something or to be with something. It doesn't have to just have an immediacy. The mind loves, give it to me now and give it to me yesterday and give it to me better and give it to me more. But that immediacy can actually just calm down, and we can
Mm,
get into the presence. It's a natural pause, as Renee was saying. There's a natural pause in this year where we don't have to have a conclusion to everything. We can actually have some space, and we can look at it from different angles until we find the one that is really powerful for ourselves in that moment.
yeah.
Um, and it is an abundance and power year, so I actually think if there is a change in financial situations or whatever, I have a feeling it's going to be in the other direction. It's going to be in a loftier direction. So I think we're going to start seeing um a redistribution of reality, but in a favorable way. I'm really seeing it more favorably.
Bobby, I like what you said in the beginning when you said, if the outcome wasn't what you wanted, we now can go back and, like, not gonna say start all over, but okay, what happened? Maybe it was, oh, I need to forgive myself, or I need to forgive that person, and then we enter into the infinity of it, and now the field of all possibilities there, but taking responsibility for it. But I like that key because sometimes we just get stuck and we don't know what to do with that. And
Exactly.
We
And
had a,
permission is so important. You know, it's always very important to give yourself permission to have a different reality is a powerful place to be.
I love that.
Dana and his school teaches that all the time. That's why, you know, it's timelines. But this is, you know, with God, you know, God is a powerful grace, and we can actually go into all of these situations with God hand in hand.
Agreed. Wow. Excellent, Bobby. Excellent. Thank you. How about you, Renee? What's your thoughts on 2024?
Well, I think Bobby spoke about it earlier when he said, "Be still and know. Be still and know." That deep knowingness that comes from listening to that still small voice. You know, just those are the words that I was hearing in that heart opening space.
I love that. I mean, you nailed it in a sense of you enter into that place and the world could go in chaotic, but your world is at peace. And isn't that we're all what we're looking for? Is just give me peace of mind, give me peace of heart, regardless of the situation. You know, pure joy or hell, one of the two, but we can stay there. I love that. Renee. Thank you. How about you, Bishop Dina?
You know, what I think is really important is that we're always focused on good news, and we get really dejected when we have more and more being bad news. The bad news is, again, what I started with. It's what you expect to happen when rather you could be with whatever happens.
Yeah.
So it's about deciding. I think to a certain degree, this is the time of great awakening or more sleep. But it doesn't matter what the venue is. There isn't a place you can go to where you think like, well, I can just focus here on my local football team and I can avoid all the rest of the stuff. For some people, it's about prayer, and they're going to stay in their little prayer bubble, a little tiny box they stay in until they get sick inside the prayer box.
Yeah.
Because I think no matter what is happening, we're being asked to let go. Let go and let God, as Ron used to always say, let go and let God. But that doesn't mean, you know, on the different paths of awakening, there's a slow path where you just be present. And that's enough to ward off what's happening too. The middle path is let's do something positive. Let's do a ritual that will bring us back into the positive in a hard time. Let's have communion. You know, we're about to lose our teacher and our savior, and we're going to have a meal together. You know, I mean, it depends on where you want to put your focus.
Yeah.
So my sense is the year will be harder and harder for you the more you're attached to some outcome of how you think the world is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But the world, this year can be the best year you've ever had if you're willing to confront and confess. That's right. They kept reminding me, confession had to be applied here. Confession is the way back to present time. It's the way out of our fears. Prayer is a type of confession.
Yeah.
But it's even more powerful when we share it outside of social dialogue, but specifically with somebody who can receive it in a holy way. Thus, the prayer does not keep resonating in your space, because in the conversation it says, I'm afraid, aren't you? And the other person responds back like, well, no, I'm not, because I'm ignoring it, which means you're even more crazy than I am. And then the next thing is, oh, you are upset. And now we reverberate upsetness back and forth when I could just look out the window and look, somebody has their Christmas lights up still. And over there, that's a beautiful light outside their door that's there 24 hours a day. And over here, where the lights went out because the power went out, look, there's paving on the ground so I can drive my car. There are so many positive things that are right here, right now, that I can put my attention on. And that's why this is going to be a better year. That's why I started in Hawaii. I decided, you know, that was away from my habits of having a celebration or a Christmas tree. And in the end, I just listened, and I ended up with a little plastic Christmas tree at Macy's. It was on sale for like $10 or whatever. And I still had Christmas everywhere because I decided to be the Christmas spirit. To me, that is what all life is supposed to be. Every day is Christmas. So it doesn't matter if the outside is on fire or blowing up. I will be there in service for it. I will not ignore it, but I will not let its way of evolving affect me in a way that I create an expectation that isn't working the way I want. So now I'm unhappy. I just have to accept this is how it is. Just like age, right? Say nothing was going wrong out there. Like you wanted to be healthy for your Christmas, Padre, with your family.
Exactly.
And hosting will always give you one right up the yazoo. It always does.
It was an exclamation point this time.
I know. Because we all, as you mentioned, you said it, we have an expectation. We want to make it better for other people. That will kill us as opposed to, I'm just going to be present. If they have a good time, great. I'm having a good time. Come on, have a good time. I think all of us are going to be asked to wake up a little bit to this heart space that Bobby's talking
I
about.
agree.
Are talking about. It's right here for us. And if there's any time where you can accept it and you won't be pointed out as weird or different or, oh, are you becoming born again or something? It's like now, well, it's crazy. Now's the time you can just settle in and open
Yes.
up and be like a lotus flower and be your true self.
Yeah.